a framework and your bonnet. Suku who and some and uncommon into your framework. Then you say a buying at the program be by your friend free SHS programmer. Boa a for near school for, especially one who wouldn't be so school. A program papa, ye niaje ye ni so. Minister for Education or Boy Juma in to ensure say program best succeed. Inti a idea yin I say ye boa na program no succeed because a succeed ma ye near Ghana for. Na and no marketing kitty be wa I was say yes she na ye solve said the bay bema program no edimu na a swaban for swama or mine. The edi kind say a buying at the Mofranoco school. By the time on be do final year no na a Mofrani be a JJ school no na akoka Mofrano be. But because a buying any system be or the track how many students and a akawo school nim any one more in the munintino. Ye twaswa a day sika a buy original sika buy the mass school no at the core every year. Nye patron say afino afiwe abandi e mofra 500 eco school A. Enko do so mundu form 3 no na mofra ne so ate because na bi ejeja school no ebi so free school moko school fufuro ebi so wan to aso ne ade. Into by the time omundu final year omu be registration no e bi mofra no do no so ate e bi adu from 500 to 400. E so ate sa no gap na e ho no na headmasters no mu bi etimi kofa abontin sofo na omo de omo amaje omo sika e de ahwe omo ebotom na omo de omo dia be share registration ne so no ma register omo na aban etua honka sa no ma we nyina ya leakages a akoye se ye konsogu kenten mu a put pressure on the sustainability and the funding of the free SHS program. I was say ye hwe na ye tu ho anamon ye best headmasters nso a omo di se adwuma ye gusu aye nhwemu ye best say ye nyai na ye nyina ye mfa komapa enter program nachi na ni susu ye pa aban no adwene enti e this program ne bai no endimu because ye nyina ye wo a role to play ne tosu mienu ye say ye ka se free SHS program na ye nka se ye free ntino abofra bia na ye de na ko school na aban e bo hoka. All scholarship programs we are seeing now are based on performance. Abofra no ya de, otimi sua de. Enti yensusu yemu no ye say aban emfa cut off point embra for the free SHS program. Na yenka na emofra no ne wa wofo nyina ti ase say oba no onya more than aggregate 30 aban ntimi mo ne ho ka school free SHS mo. Enti mofra no ebe yiro mo ho asua de se be yo a on be pass no banya free SHS afei abaya fa mofra no school no mo awie no abofra no okọ form 1 ofelia na se o kana na mu a eno e wo se aban yi no free SHS program ne so na yebo na wofo ene ebo no hoka because all scholarship programs are based on performance. It is to say what is happening is say because aban and na ebo hoka u repeat you aban na ebo hoka ntino once ombe tire term exams we no na ya promote omu nyina na oboko because aban nim say akra no kana name a ono aban no ono ana se beboka and that is affecting quality in so no the quality of education no from more from free SHS program no mu ba tertiary institutions no o ma decision no se be e form because of this mass promotion enti yentimi nye free say free ni nko akwa yemfa emphasis into quality so yenim say minister of education etie yenim say obetu ho anamon yenim say our very good understanding of the education sector on and some of the problems are easy enti yenim say obetu ho anamon but let's pay attention to quality. Na yen tie in performance with access. Na yen access na nkwani enja quality no ento baby. Enti yesusu ye no ye say one, aban or introduce a cut-off point for the free SHS program. Aggregate 30. When you actually BEC, you know, when you're 30, you will enjoy free SHS. The tosu me no. Oko form 1, SS form 1 of failure. I will say aban you free SHS program so. We do form 2 now failure. I will say you free program so. There must be some system introduced. Afei, one more so this your form no. Yes, just say aban any obia na betimi akọ university ana obetimi akọ SS. Aban putting together a very specific or special TVET program. Emma emofra na omo ye your friends say technical and vocationally inclined no. Na yen channel omo into those areas. They provide the appropriate funding for omo so na enso stay ni omo. Ni etoso bio yes aban say congestions na school no I enunti ema za double track once and some no eba ni problems ni nyina no ye best just aban ni private schools no ebetena se the private secondary schools no betena se no ma make arrangement bi na se quota bi kra wo ho a say 30% a aban ebetwa ama wo mo say afibia no emofre on be school free under the free SHS program no private schools ye be ma mo 30% quota that would also then send Emofran to some of the private schools across. Some of them have very fine capacity. In fact, some of the private schools maybe have more capacity than even some of the government schools are under the free SHS program. I themselves buy no more tenase no more yes and share na. Ebeboa ama congestion a lot of the problems are and the pressure in schools a sorting. I feel so a bit creative juma because once the private schools get the quota, they will also be employing people who are graduating from our universities to teach, and that will also open up employment opportunities for your friends saying for your mofran. So these are some of the few challenges with the problem. Your person are share na or resolve it. Na program no timi dimu na botaye ni susupa aban so the program no. The purpose of the program into perspective, say, the free SHS it's because Abayano wants to develop our human capacity, our human capital. Okay? But, say, at the end of the day, a free secondary school sneban. How many of them anything may call into a school? What you say? Say, system me, Obi no adwuma bi no a SS certificate at the Bemau. Emofra no so kwa no mo free SHS owi a wantwa wabon ono a wontimi ntoa so ebinum kra so watwa pa so bi asikasem kra nti wontimi ntoa so what I say at the end of the day what happens to them inti let's look at the number of students graduating from our secondary schools every year or the number of students or graduates free SHS is producing, and let's look at the percentage of them that is advancing to the various tertiary institutions. And let's look at how many people are remaining. And the gap is huge. It's about 40% per in Nyakwanko tertiary institutions in the last 4 years. So if you are producing this quantity, so every year you have a backlog of about 50 to 60% of your free SHS graduates who are at home without any progression. And how do you justify a car a buying ball or some of what you say? And that is why you see, every scholarship program is tied in with quality. At least, I will say, your system be a measure say, Nientia ye bomb friend who can, ye achieve up butayeno. If we are not measuring the output, continuously measuring the output, then we are wasting taxpayers' money. Excuse me, but that's how bluntly I can say it. What you say? Into yen can say abofre bia and deserve free SHS. I just ye can. But the patch say because it's a canny ho, not a buying, and so because of economic difficulty, a woman to know. I was say a buying per crime be so befaswa. Say Mofrano, Kakrabin Ponombe benefited from the program. That's a quality, no betting advance at the next level. Near you bet me achieve the aim and purpose of the free SHS program. It's better than say yes, you will be uncobi free, on a large scale. Now, the number of people are buying in future. You be almost on fasono is just about 10 or 20%. Investigations near more be a tempo, no be a base you're targeting. Aban and conduct a full-scale investigations and audit into the funding of the program for the last 3 or 4 years. And when you say Aban yes are auditing now, Aban will cover some of these loopholes now we're plucking. And in fact, I've been reliably informed, from the Ministry of Education, say Aban is trying to introduce some biometric, reforms to be able to track some of these things. And Australia best just say Aban be no ntem. Na yetimi ehunu e mofra do a school bia mu, so that Minister for Education ti akra or find a laptop or them say school we e mofra 100 ne wom. So ochina abofra ba kukra jai school a, it must reflect in the system, which will then determine how much sika Aban ediko schools no. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. And yes, sir, Aban will be left in the dark. We'll keep paying for ghost names, ghost people. School name. And some of these headmasters will take advantage of some of these things, put in their own people, collect money, and then make money off the system. At the end of the day, it's the poor taxpayer who is paying for this mess. Until Aban needs to take, to say, Aban a wholesale, implementation of the free SHS. Ubi ucho wencho, you go. Into, for example, say every year, now buying 1,000 students, and a free SHS. So, or the cut-off point in the bag 30 1,000 no money na be into one more above grade 30 can be about 20% of the 1,000, right? Which will be about 400 students. Now, so 400 students, originally, and Kaban Bebo Moka under free SHS, and you said there be a cana, Kauda Besha, some of free SHS, and Fasobian Emasono. Fasasicano, Tessas cannot to Jennifer for sure if I created TVET program for sure. Into and yes, I buy confess oh baby for fraud at the bay TVET.
When it comes to technical and vocational now, what not cost involved now? Higher than.
Exactly. Yes. But you see, when you start the program, there are other modes of funding. Already you have your base funding, say a can't have a ball of front or free SHS no. What's here to change? So then government can make adjustments and top up and use that money to fund the TVET programs. And there are other international fundings for TVET programs, other funding sources that government can tap into raise funds to fund some of these skill development. Because the future is development of skills, the skills and industry subsector. And we need to develop our human capacity in those areas. And yes, school and the arts and the humanities in a bit more creative jobs. There are huge opportunities in the services and the industry subsector. If we're able to, harness on our TVET programs, we'll be able to create a very skilled labor set